Live from the City of Angels, you are watching Midnight Movie Talk. As we get into it here tonight, I just wanted to have a relaxing MMT box office preview show Thursday night. Considering condensing the show, making it like 30 minutes on Thursday night, especially now that there's nothing but dreck like the Nun II in theaters, which we'll discuss momentarily. But tonight, I got a little injection of excitement in Chris Gore calling me out. So we're going to play the video, and I'm going to react to it. And I'm going to be as unvarnished and authentic as I ever am here on the channel tonight. I want to say this before we get into the show and Nun II, and oh my God. Listen, the people who come after me, and there's lots that do, for whatever reason, I don't know what the issue is. Yes, I'm opinionated as hell. Okay, it is what it is. Deal with it. I'm not going to change. Are you kidding me? You're not going to change me. It's never going to happen. Okay, and number two is that no one ever says that I'm not authentic, that I'm not 100% objective in this space, which is so rare. So all the critics out there, including Gore, when they spout off this nonsense, it just makes me laugh. I go, what is wrong with you guys? Seriously. I don't understand it, but I'm ready to go. Okay, that's all I'm going to tell you. Let's get ready to do this, though. Let's do the MMT evaluation. I just got out of the Nun II. I know you want me to go off on Gore. Just let me just deal with the regular batting order that we do here on Thursday night, which is we start with the film that's opening wide that none of you care about, The Nun II. Did you see the first one? Part of the Conjuring universe, right? And you know that there is an evil nun as she looks to avenge something that she's pissed off about. I don't remember. But she's back. And this time, in this film, she is terrorizing Europe from city to city to city. And they have the nun from the first one, the good nun, has to come and tag team with another nun to find out where the evil nun is going to be. What if that was the elevator pitch for a movie? And I just said, here's it. I just lay that on you. You'd be like, I'm getting off here on the next floor. I don't care if this isn't my floor. I'm getting off. I'm out of here. That's the worst pitch I've ever heard. Yeah, I had to sit through the movie. This was me after the Nun II. Barely awake. This is one of those films that in the middle of it, I wandered off to the side of the IMAX. Don't ask me why I saw it in IMAX. I can't answer that. It was the right showtime for me. Plus, with A-list, it's all the same. So I'm like, might as well see it in IMAX or whatever. And I get off to the side where I'm not blocking anybody with my phone. No one can see me on my phone. Does that make? I'm in the corridor where I can see the screen and I can also randomly just look through Twitter and whatever else I want to do because the movie's so boring. That's this kind of film. And it's the perfect early September release. We got NFL football back, right? We've got college football. We got everything going on, and people are like, the movies. We're going to take a chill pill on this, and we're not going to go. And this is what you get. You get a film that barely keeps you alive as you watch the twin sister act try to get the evil nun and pin her down. And let me just go further. Find the eyes of a former, I believe, a saint that control the nun. So if they can find the eyes that are buried in the boarding school, they can then kill the nun. But actually, the nun's not the nun. The nun has possessed the dude from the first one. So he's really the nun. And then there's also a satanic goat creature that shows up late that was sort of interesting. This movie is so bad. And the weirdest thing about it tonight, when you go to see movies in Burbank, what I tell you guys all the time, you're in there with people in the business, people that work in Hollywood. In this case, it was one of the actresses in the movie because I was watching it and why people are cheering. Like, here's the Nun II, the opening scene, and the priest goes up in flames and there's the Nun II, and everyone starts going, yeah. And I'm like, what the hell? What are we doing here? Then throughout the movie, I'm hearing just random, noises and things, people engaged with this otherwise completely and utterly forgettable film. And then at the end of the movie, I was trying to figure out what was going on, and one of the names of the young actresses came up, and they're like, "Yeah, Haley, let's go, Haley," whoever it was. And I go, "This explains it." You see, if I didn't know better, I would think that this was a good movie because the crowd was into it. They're into it because they're there to support the girl who's in the movie that's in the screening I'm in. My God, this movie was a waste of my evening. I hate watching films like this that are completely useless to me, and I will never remember past the second we stop talking about it here on MMT. 50% score, and do not see it. Even with the A-list, I would say this is not worth your time. Let's do a sales check because we like to do that here on our regular Thursday nights. And you guys would be like, well, you're not doing the normal format. You're attacking Gore. We'll get to the Gore thing. Just give me a second. We got to do the regular shit. We have 15 viewers that want to see this. That's the beauty, right? Because I told you guys when we start the channel, I don't care. I don't care if I have 200, 2,000, 200,000. Doesn't matter. I don't give a shit. I don't care. You guys don't understand. I really don't. I love that you're here and it's awesome. But I don't, it's not why I do the show. I do the show because I just want to riff on shit. Okay, here we go. Here's Dolby for the Nun II. I want to say this, though. Tonight, IMAX 5:15 show, maybe 1/3 full at most, which is bad. This looks like it's about 70% full. This is the 945 Dolby. Now remember, Warner Brothers has IMAX and Dolby on this film. That's going to help them this weekend. So let's get to the projector. Let's do one more theater because I know it's like we're talking about the Nun. I mean, it's short and sweet. It's like less than 5 minutes, guys. Just bear with me, okay? Let's go to Universal 930. Well, oh my God, is everything sold out? What's a small theater? It's a small theater that explains it. I'm going to give you my number based on the first Nun, based on The Conjuring. I'm actually going to push it to 30, but the word of mouth's not going to be great. It's uninspired. It's forgettable. There's no one element of this film that screams, you got to go see this. If I didn't have a show that I do talking about movies, I wouldn't see Nun II, and there's no reason for you to see it unless you just want to be bored out of your mind. So I'm going to go 30 million on this thing. Okay, what do we think? Real quickly, a couple comments before we get into the Gore stuff. You guys are all like, "Get to the Gore thing. Get to the Gore. Get to the Gore. We just want to." I don't understand the Nun exactly, Kinema Dave. I don't. It's a very complex storyline because you have the multiple nuns going after the evil nun, but really it's a possessed man who has the nun spirit in, and then we have the satanic goat and the young girls who are being chased through the boarding school. Forget it. I can't do it. I don't understand it, and I'm not going to try to explain it beyond it's another sequel that tries to do too much. Just like we talked about Scream 6. I understand when we've been down the road, 6 times, you think, well, let's do more. My advice always, what is it? It's less is more. Go and give me, like, I go back to Scream 6. Give me a Hush version of that. Remember that film? Small little independent horror film. The deaf woman, right? She's in the house all alone and dude's stalking her and doing all these things, but she can't hear anything. And it's just a one-on-one cat and mouse, right? That's more interesting to me. And the Nun, here we have a bunch of young girls now. Now we're in a boarding school. Now there's multiple nuns and multiple evil nuns possessing people and satanic goats. It's too much shit. Don't do this. Filmmakers, make it less. I haven't seen any Conjuring movies since the Annabelle prequel, which was forgettable. That one was actually decent. Of all of these, that one, if I remember, that was the one set back in like the 50s, right? Or wherever. It was, in the olden days, it was okay. But these are just not fantastic films. And it's unfortunate because, you think about like horror films, even if I have an issue with them, and I see every horror film, except for like torture porn. I don't like torture porn. But when you go look at last year at this time, why is Warner Brothers dumping the Nun here? First of all, they had the first Nun that did very well in this spot, but also the last few years. You've got Barbarian, you had Smile. What I like about Barbarian and Smile is at least they're new. Even if they are derivative of other films, Barbarian, Don't Breathe, and Smile, The Ring, and multiple other films, right? They all are amalgamations of other films. But at least it's not number 2, number 3, 4, 5, 6. Stop giving us sequels. I know the money is easy, but if you're going to do it, try to at least be inspired. And this film is just not worth a second of your time. And yeah, 30 million isn't bad. Someone just in the comments saying it isn't bad because the first one did well. It's Conjuring. I mean, if the last Insidious could make 30 million, why can't the Nun II? There's no competition. There's My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3. I'm not seeing that. I didn't see 1 or 2. I'm not going to watch it. I won't do it, guys. I won't do it. Okay, before we get to Gore, give me 1 second. I want to show you a couple things that I came across tonight when I was at the AMC 16. There was a gentleman handing out flyers, and I was like, what movie is this? Let me see what movie you have there. You guys ready for this? I couldn't believe it because I go, it's done. It's ready to start test screening. Well, there it is. Can you see it? It is Robert Eggers' Nosferatu. He is apparently they're not Warner's. It's Focus and Universal. It's really Focus because they're still working with him somehow after, oh my God, after The Northman, which was they lost a lot of money on. Well, actually, they might have made it like sort of back to where it was. $70 million budget, and then it didn't do the box office, but they say, all the streaming and all that shit. They got some money from it. Okay, so here we go. So Nosferatu, you can see there's the little synopsis. Directed by Robert Eggers, Nosferatu is a provocative horror movie about a haunted young woman and the ancient Transylvanian vampire who obsessively pursues her. This is his, re-envisioning of it, his remake, right? Obviously. Bringing untold terror to all. I mean, I think it's a good match of director and film. I hope that he imbues some emotion into it, right? I mean, good God. You go back to Nosferatu. What was that? 20 what? What was the year on that? Whatever. Wait. Okay. Early cinema. If you go back and look at just the creature design of that, just that face, right? My God, it just is burned into your psyche forever once you see it. I'm sure that he has a similar vision. I trust him that way. He has a very good, he knows how to impart the look of a film. No question. Eggers has that down. He now needs to imbue emotion into his film. Somehow he's got to do that. Northman really suffered from that because it needed to have that. That film needs that. Nosferatu as well. Any film, you have to have at least some shred of emotion. Okay, so there it is. So they're going to do the screening. I folded it in half so you wouldn't see where it is and when it is. But it's going to be soon. That's all I'm going to tell you guys because I do not need Focus coming after me in Universal because I'm already in trouble like every studio. Because all I try to do is build clout, according to some people. I'm trying to stay relevant. What the? Listen, guys, let's do it. We'll talk about Nosferatu throughout the night or whatever you want to talk about. We got more. I got Rotten Tomatoes and all these things. Let's talk about Chris Gore because, listen, I've known Chris now for 5 years. We met at a party in Beverly Hills for Crazy Rich Asians. I remember the night. And he came up to me and we talked because that was the time that I broke the story that Disney, Lucas, film, Kathleen Kennedy said, we're not going to make the Boba Fett movie. I was the guy who reported that because I went up to her at a party and I said, hey, Kathleen, what's up with Boba Fett, the movie? I can't wait because I love Boba Fett. No, I don't care about Star Wars. Honestly, I just don't give a shit. I mean, it's fine. I'll watch them, but it's not like my passion. She goes, we're not making that. She looked at me and she's like, we're not making that movie. Who? I thought we made that clear. We're not making Boba Fett. And I went, okay. And so first thing I do was I was at the party. I got on my phone and I Googled Boba Fett movie. Nowhere did it say they're not making it. It just said it's in production. And what's his ass from Indiana Jones, the last and the whatever it was, the Dial of Disaster, Mangold was going to make it, right? And so this is a long-winded story. When I tell stories, I'm sorry, they get a little long, but it's all going to come together. So anyhow, I tweeted it out. It turned out to be a story that was in Deadline, THR, Variety. They all had to quote me because I was the guy who got it. It turned out to be a story because when I say something, it happens. That's the funny thing. Gore, here's the funny thing. When Gore, like, I'm going to show you. I'm going to play the clip we're going to talk about. Gore never, nor does anybody ever say what he says isn't true because it always is true because I don't make shit up. I never have. If I say it happened, it happened. Okay. The stories I tell you, you don't believe because you can't believe someone actually does this shit. I do it. I know that's it's so egotistical. Listen, In life, there are doers and talkers. I'm a doer, okay? End of discussion. There's nothing more to talk about on that end. I'm a doer, okay? So if I tell you I talked to Kathleen Kennedy, she told me they're not making the Boba Fett movie. That's what happened that night. Anyhow, that took off. Then I talked to the same party. I talked to Kevin Feige, and I said, "What's up with Guardians 3?" Because at the time, James Gunn was gone, and they were like, "We don't know what they're going to do." So I talked to him. That turned into another story, all the trades. I broke 2 stories that night at a party over vodka tonics. By the way, 1 for me, maybe 2, not 15 like Gore. Anyhow, so I told you it's going to get bad. So I met him at the party, and he came up and said, "Hey, you're the guy who broke those stories." And we talked. Yeah. So, kudos. He recognized that and wasn't like most people who'd be like, most of the film people are like, "Oh, that Weber guy, what an asshole. I can't believe he got that scoop. I don't believe it. I don't believe it happened because Weber's a jerk. He's just, my God, what an arrogant asshole." Wait, what are we talking about? Did I get it right? Oh, that's right. So, yeah. Here's the thing. I've told you guys a million times. In life, you have 2 choices. If something rubs you the wrong way, and I'm not going to tell you that I don't, some people, you have 2 choices. 1, accept it, or 2, use it. I talk about this all the time. Whenever the haters come after me, in this case, Gore, which is going to be fun because this is something I can talk about. And I have no problem discussing these things. I'm going to use that. Whenever someone comes after me or says shit, you know what I do? I go harder at the gym. I go harder in anything because I can promise you this, whatever someone says about me is never going to slow me down. That's the thing that these people can't figure out. And the fact that Gore starts with saying, "I'm looking for relevance." Let me explain something to you, Chris. If I were looking for relevance, I would have gone to the party last night that you went to and probably had 16 drinks before you walked into the movie. I went home last night after the gym because I didn't give a shit. So I'm not chasing clout. I don't care. I go to see these movies when I want to. I'm not going to the party because it's cool. It's free drinks. Look who's there. It's the director. I don't give a shit. They're there. That's fine. That's great. I'm here to watch the movie. I don't even care about Haunting in Venice. So don't call me a clout chaser. If I was a clout chaser, I would have gone to the party. I'd be like literally saying, "I want to go to," and now I turn down virtually every single party I get invited to, except for, last year, Tar, a movie that I think is a masterpiece. If I got a chance to meet Charlotte Wells for After Sun, I would have gone. There's only a few exceptions to the rule of I don't care about this stuff anymore. Hollywood does nothing for me, guys. I live here, but the excitement level of walking into a party like 5 years ago and running into Gore when we went into the Crazy Rich Asians party, I was like, "Oh my God, I'm here. The stars are here. Henry Golding's over there. There is Aquafina." Now I walk in and I'm like, are they showing the movie? And maybe I'll have 1 vodka tonic, not 10, 1. And then I leave. I don't care about this stuff anymore. So don't call me a clout chaser. When I started the channel, it's to have an outlet. It's not because I care about having any kind of like, oh, I have to be, have this many subscribers or this many views. I don't care, you guys. You guys don't. I don't. I know that, oh, he's lying. He cares about all this shit. If I did, why'd I go home last night? Why'd I go home and just ride my bike around Burbank instead of going to the party where all the cool people were? Because I don't care. I don't want to go. I have friends who go, "Oh my God, are you going to the premiere tonight?" No. Why don't you want to go? I don't want to go. I have no interest. Oh, weird. Okay. But it's cool. No, that's fine. If you think it's cool, it's cool. All right. Look, first of all, I want to give Gore some credit. I want to thank him for making a cool thumb. Do you guys see it there? I don't know if I can zoom in. Left side, you can see the shirtless guy. Damn it, it went away. Give me a second. It's right there. And they put a bunch of like my face on it looks like I have tattoos or those suction cup things. Listen, can I say one other thing? Because Gore's like, or whatever, "Hey, you're posing shirtless again." So what? Why is that offensive? Does that make you feel bad? Because you don't go to the gym? Because you don't take your fitness seriously? I have to feel bad? I have to cover up? I got to wear a shirt because you feel bad? How about this? How about when you see that? When you see me proud of the work I put in, why don't you use that as motivation? That's what this is all about. It's not about, oh, how great I am. It's about maybe someone seeing that and going, "I'm going to do this." I told you my stories before about Greg Plitt. Greg Plitt was one of the most raw, vicious, unfiltered human beings to ever run on this planet. And that dude was jacked. And you watch his videos, he had a no shits given whatsoever attitude. And that is awesome to me. I love to see someone who's pushing and working and doing things and has no care for what other people have to say. And who cares if I post 1,000 shirtless pictures? Gore, I don't give a shit. How about this? Why don't you use that motivation instead of drinking all night? Go to the gym the next day. Why don't you do that for me? Okay. I'm going to be like, oh, I'm ashamed. You got a picture of me shirtless. Give me a freaking break, dude. That's lame. It's also, you know what that tells me? That tells me that you are insecure with yourself because you have a problem with how I look. So what, dude? It's not the only thing in my life, but it is important. For me, it is. And if you have a problem with that, that's on you. That's not my problem. That's you. That's a you problem, bro. 100% you. All right, let's listen to some of this. I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to stop it, and then I'm going to go off, or I might not. I really didn't even want to address this because I think the number one thing I wanted to address on all this, and I've already gone way too far past where I want to go, is I wanted to say this. I don't need Chris Gore for relevancy. I don't give a shit about relevancy. You guys don't get it. I go to the movies because I like the movies. I don't care if I have 3 YouTube viewers. I don't care if I have 300 million. It doesn't matter to me. I am in this for the movies. I don't care about clout. I do not care about, quote, relevancy. I want to spread the word about good films and then trash the bad ones. That's it. So whatever else you want to say, I don't need Chris Gore. I never did. That's the short and long of it. Let's listen to some of this.
Think maybe it's time to address something. Go
for it, dude.
So here I'm gonna look at these comments real quick, and then I'm going to address this, and we're going to leave it at that very quickly.
Good.
John Fiera says, "Does anyone here still watch Midnight Movie Talk?" Man, I don't know what happened with Eric.
Wait a second, Jeff. John's in here. John's in the comments right now. John, are you like? Wait a second. Are you the Benedict Arnold of this channel? Are you like going over there? What are you doing? What? It's fine. You don't understand. This is all a big joke. This is all just fun. It's not serious shit. You got to understand that.
Eric Weber blow up with Chris Gore. Weber says Gore knows nothing about movies.
Okay, let me tell you this. Here's what I said, and I'm going to say this again. I said that, and I mean this, and I will continue to say this. Chris Gore is a very mediocre film evaluator, and that's the truth. He can't say that about me. You know what he's going to say? I guarantee it's coming up. In fact, someone told me already. I only watched some of this. He's going to say Ant-Man 3. He's going to say, oh, he liked Ant-Man. That's it. You got one. And by the way, Empire Magazine, one of the biggest, most respected film publications in the world. Yes, bigger than Film Threat. I know, shocking. Is that they gave it 4 out of 5. Ant-Man 3, 4 out of 5. So, yeah, about that. The only guy who liked Ant-Man 3. Try again. Keep going.
So then we go on, and we said Imperfect says, every time I hear
And here, let me tell you, as I said, that he's a very, very average film evaluator. And I'm gonna just come out here and say this. I'm not gonna call him. Here's what I'm gonna tell you. When you go in to watch a film, you need to be in a state of mind where you are 100%. That's all I'm going to say. You guys can go wherever you want with that. Secondly, when you watch films like No Hard Feelings, is where I lost it over him. When he comes out of it and goes, it's fine. It's not fine, Chris Gore. No Hard Feelings is horribly directed, and the screenplay is an embarrassment. At the end, you have the kid raping her, and you're going to tell me it's okay. It's funny. Gore, be better. Have higher standards. take this job seriously instead of just talking about Star Wars shit all the time. That's all he does. Star Wars. And by the way, he also co-opted RRR. You know why he co-opted that film? Because he knew it was going to bring him views. He's like, you know what? If I start talking about RRR, then people will start watching my channel. I talked about RRR because I wanted to see the film and I enjoyed it. It's entertaining. But I didn't do entire streams about RRR for days and weeks and months. And the reason he did is because he wanted views. I don't do that. If I wanted views, I'd talk about Star Wars. I'd talk about MCU shit all day. I don't do that. We talk about box office and Hollywood and stuff. That's why. So don't call me a cloud chaser. If anyone's a cloud chaser, it's you. Next time you rev up the view searching, let's go look at Star Wars shit. Let's be the judge of Star Wars. Whatever, dude. You know that's views. Whether you like it or not, that's fine if he does. Talking about the Nun is not views. Talking about Star Wars, MCU, DC, views. Going off on woke shit, views. Me, objective, no views. Fine, don't care. Doesn't matter. I don't give a shit. I don't care. But yeah, exactly. I'm sure he's going to latch on to what's the new movie came out this week. There's a new one just came out. Someone told me I need to see it. Not the Nun II. I forget. It's a new, he's going to latch onto that because it's views. It's views. It's views. I don't do that. That's not how I run this channel.
Erick take, it's a bad take. Like Grace Randolph level bad.
Oh yeah. Guys, real quickly, come in the comments. I'm going to hit someone. I'm sorry. This is fun. I don't know who that was who said the comment. You're going to tell me that I have takes like Grace Randolph? Are you kidding me? Because let me explain something to you. My record of film going back a decade plus is usually dead on. Jawan is one thing. Thank you. Yes, he'll be all over that. So listen. I didn't see what John said. Listen, here's the deal. Is that don't compare me to Grace Randolph. She could never do this show. And I mean never. She could never do a live show the way I'm doing it right now shooting. This is a straight shoot. I don't have any teleprompter. I'm reading your comments, so I'm looking at. Grace Randolph is reading off a teleprompter right here, and her takes are terrible. Her film takes, she doesn't know what she's talking about. That's not, dude. So whoever says that, you got a problem with you. That's not a me problem. That's a you figuring out what quality is problem, and that's on you, bro. That's not on me, because I know what I'm doing here. Oh, there goes the ego. Too bad. Is what it is.
You mean when Erick Weber praised Ant-Man 3?
Let's stop and look at it. Let's go. By the way, I was the only one who praised Ant-Man 3, by the way. I want everyone to know that. I'm the only human being on planet Earth who liked Quantumania. Brandon, it's at 46%. It doesn't matter. I want to show you guys. Hold on. Let's show this tab. I've done this before. I don't want to do it again. Top critic. Fresh. There's obviously there's rottens. My point is I didn't recommend Beau is Afraid. I didn't recommend Babylon. I didn't recommend The Whale. So you guys get over it. But I just think it's funny because everyone goes back to Ant-Man 3 like I'm the only person. Audience score 82%. I'm the only person who thought it was entertaining. Only person. No one else thought it was good. Doesn't matter. It doesn't. Here's the deal. Hold on. I got to get back to that. Sorry, I had the wrong thing up. I'm going to explain one other thing to you. I don't care if you're a walking film encyclopedia. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You guys don't understand something. Are we doing a trivia show? I'm sorry. Are we doing a trivia show? Or are we talking about evaluation of film? Now, knowing history of film is key in that you can see influences in directors without question. But at the end of the day, even that is not the end all. The end all is the film skillfully put together and is it very good at doing what it's trying to do? That I don't care if you're a walking film encyclopedia. We talked about Sean Fennessy. They say, oh, he knows everything. Yeah, he sucks as a film evaluator. He's literally one of the worst. You can't recommend Beau is Afraid, The Whale, and what else? There's another one. Was it the third one? Did he recommend Bottoms? Probably. I'm sure he did. You can't recommend those films, all of them. One, I'll let slide maybe. Two, when you start recommending these terrible films that are inaccessible for 99% of the audience, you don't speak for the audience. I speak for the audience. Most people are going to see films how I see them. Most of you are. You know that. You know that all the time. Okay? So it's close. I'm not like disparate. I'm not in like some other universe on these films. I mean, last I checked, Tar was my number one film of the year. What did it win last year? New York, Chicago, L.A. should have won Oscar. Of course, we gave a ton of awards to it. Sunset Circle. So proud of that. Nailed that. Picture, director, screenplay, actress. All of those things need to be there. Okay, cinematography is definitely a look there. And you have all those elements. So don't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. And I don't need anyone else's opinion to validate what I'm saying. I don't ever look at other people's reviews and go, I'm going to use those. There's a million people in this business who they come out of the movie and they actually have discussions with people and go, hey, what'd you think? And they kind of like amalgamate, right? Let me take some of this and some of that, and this is going to be my thoughts. I don't need that. When I walked, so I saw Babylon, right? So what did I do when I came to saw Babylon? I walked out of the very first screening of that and I said, it's one of the worst films of the year, a train wreck, tonal disaster, and easily Chazelle's worst film. No one said anything to me. I could have been the only person who said that. That's called balls. That's called conviction. Gore's never done that. Nor he doesn't ever do. When's the last time he actually stood out and said this film's terrible? He doesn't do it because he knows he's going to piss off people by doing that. So he's playing that thing just like right. Did Gore say Barbie is great? Of course he didn't, because he's got to play the woke train along with Nerdrotic and all those guys who do that woke sucks, and that's all they do because they can't move off that position. That position only allows you to say everything woke sucks, even if it is true. Like in the case of, and I don't even know if it's woke or not, Bottoms is one of the most unfunny films ever, okay? And it's getting praised for all kinds of the wrong reasons. But I'm not going to say that every time there's a film that's woke. Look at my review of The Little Mermaid. It's fine. Haley's very good in the role as far as certainly her voice. But the problem is when you're in this corner where Gore's painting himself, he has to go, this is woke, this is woke, this is woke. This is already way too long, by the way, for me. I'm going to scoot ahead in this. I don't even want to. Let me just see. Oh, here, by the way, I just want to read the bottom for you. It's a sad attempt to be relevant. Guys, I didn't ask for this. And someone said I was talking about him because people like John came in here and asked me about him. John, you come in and ask me questions. I don't ever bring up Gore. You came in and asked me. This wasn't something I wanted to do. Someone tagged me on a tweet. I don't care. It's the last time I'm going to talk about it. I don't care. And yes, did I not go to his premiere? Yeah. So what? So what? Let me explain something to you. He had that on a Friday afternoon in Orange County. I said it before, I'm doing it again. If you have your premiere for a movie on a Friday afternoon in Orange County, you are completely disregarding your entire audience, because people in LA, anyone who lives in LA, if you don't live here, you don't understand, I get it. Driving from LA to Orange County on a Friday is a 2-hour drive for that. That's how long it is, minimum. I'll show it. I'll tweet it out tomorrow. I'll take a picture of the map at 3 o'clock from me down to Santa Ana. It's going to be 2 hours. Okay. So listen, when you do that, you are signaling, telling your audience, you don't care. I'm going to have it on Friday afternoon. I got a good deal on the place. Well, Whiplash, go for it, man. I got it. I don't care. Why do I care? Because of the Gore people left. I don't, guys, you don't understand. I don't care if the subscriber base goes down or up. I don't get up in the morning and look at the numbers. I don't care. Oh my God, this is too. I'm done. I'm done after this. It's done. I'm done with this. Who gives a shit? You got, the funny thing is when someone asks something like Whiplash, asks you why is it, like Whiplash, I respect you've been here before, and I respect that. But when you ask that question, do you honestly think I care if my subscriber? Do you think I care? Like, do you think I go to bed tonight even thinking about this? I swear to God, I mean this. I would blow the channel up tomorrow. I wouldn't think twice about it. Don't give a shit. I don't care. I'm at the point where I'm almost ready to walk away from all this. Not because of Gore. This has nothing to do with him. I was already there. I talked to, listen, my best friend in the business is Scott Menzel. When he comes on, you can tell we have great chemistry because he's a good person. I'm not saying Gore's not a good person. I'm going to say that I like Scott's heart. Scott's heart is in the right spot, in the right place. And as much as I come off as a blowhard and arrogant, I'm not a bad person. I know that. I've never done anything bad. Not going to premieres does not make me a bad person. It's not troubling. It doesn't whatever, okay? I'm telling you, I talked to Scott, I talked to people. I have no problem just ending this tomorrow, tonight. It's over. I don't care. I mean, I really don't. It doesn't matter. Like it doesn't. This isn't how I find my validation. I know that's shocking to some people that follow me on Twitter or wherever, and yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. They want to get the dollars and they play a role. I don't play a role. My role is to be objective and to hammer things when it's time and to lay off when it's not and be old school journalist shit. I don't have a dog in this fight. I want to just see a good film. And if it's not good, it's not good, period. Bottoms is not good and not funny, not because it stars a pair of lesbian characters in high school. It's not funny, period. It's not funny, period. Um, no, I don't. Listen. I think I might just cut the show down to 1 day a week or something. It's not. It's not that. It's not. It hasn't. Guys, honestly, this means nothing. It has nothing to do with Gore. Um, Nothing. Zero. In fact, when I saw this today, I was kind of like, great, fine, I'll talk about it because I have no problem talking about anything. Honestly, if you guys ask me anything, I will literally discuss it because I don't have an issue with that. Because when you are authentic and you are being truthful with everything that you talk about, which is what I do here, then you don't have any problem answering a question. If someone asks me a question, I can tell them. I will say it, as long as it's in good faith, right? I'm not going to answer stuff that's like in bad faith, trying to get gotcha like that. Not going to happen. Yeah, the culture. Well, well, exactly. Calvert, thank you. I mean, that's exactly right. They're all part of a cult, you know. And I've met Gary. He said some nice things about me. But the problem is when you paint yourself into the corner of being rage against this and everything Disney does is terrible, everything that Lucasfilm does is terrible, and even though I could probably agree with a lot of it. The problem is once we start doing that, you can't move off the position. You have to stay on that. And if you don't, your audience is going to go, oh my God, he just said that The Little Mermaid wasn't bad. He can't do that, so he never will. So why am I going to watch somebody who's going to do that? Why am I going to watch somebody who already what they're going to say before the show starts? When I come on here, you don't know what I'm going to say. You know what? You guys know. Here's the deal. First of all, someone in a comment, I looked at Gore's things. I just wanted to see it. And this, come in right now. Tell me right now. Erick comes off as phony. Can you imagine? Guys, think about it. Just hold on for a second. I want you to honestly think of all the words right now. Come with whatever. Come up with what's the last word you come up with? Phony, the last word. But yet this fool, this idiot, this guy, likely, because he watches Gore, is calling me a phony. Like, be better. Like, know what you're talking about before you criticize. Say arrogant. Say opinionated. Say, rough, whatever you want to say, but don't say fake, phony, inauthentic, because that tells me you literally have no idea what words you're using and you don't know who you're talking about. I'll take a lot of stuff, but inauthentic is the last thing I'll ever take. No, and the other thing they never say, I say it all the time, never say he doesn't know what he's talking about. Gore said Ant-Man 3. Did you notice he didn't say anything else? Because I'm right. Why do you think I get direct messages from people at studios that tell me your thoughts on film are very good? Not good, very good. And you are fearless. And my thoughts align with what you're saying very often. Directors, studio people, PR people. Here's the deal, though. I'm still going to do that even if I didn't get that validation. That's not why I'm doing this. But I'm telling you guys, for the people that go, well, he doesn't know. Really? Then you tell me why. A Universal exec told one of my sources that I was dead on about the Fabelmans sucking. A Universal person high up in the food chain told him that I was right about the Fabelmans. I know what I'm talking about. If that pisses you off, deal with it, man. That's not my problem. That is a you problem. That is not a me problem. How I present, that's what it is, man. I'm going to come after it like I always do. That's what I do. I'm not going to change. I'm not going to vary. I'm not going to go all woke, anti-woke. Not going to happen. Channel's never going to do that shit. So whatever. I'm done talking about Gore, but I want to make one thing clear as we end this with Gore, and then I go a couple more things and we roll out of here because I didn't want to go that long tonight, but I'm already past my half-hour time limit. I didn't ever bring Gore up. You did, John. You did, whoever comes up. All you guys in the comments who come over here and say this and that. The deal is that I didn't go out of my way. I'm not looking for clout from Chris Gore. I'm not looking to be, quote, relevant from Chris Gore. If I want to be relevant from Chris Gore, I would go back to the year 1994. And that's where I'll leave it. Oh, shit. I don't care. It's fine. It's fine. It's all good. Jaffo, exactly. Why? You know why? Do you know why? Do you know why I'm unpredictable? Because I am not fake. I'm not phony. I'm not any of these things. No, I don't. No, honestly, no. Honestly, it has nothing to do with the numbers. It doesn't. Omega Swiper doesn't. I'm getting tired of talking about movies because there's so many bad films lately that I just get tired. I know we're getting into award season, but when I walk out of when I was at the Nun II tonight, I was sitting on the side in the hallway watching the screen from the side, and I was on my phone going, I don't want to do this anymore. Like I'm burnt out on it. And it's because the films suck largely. Occasionally we get something good, but I'm forced to watch things like Nun II, Equalizer 3, these things I don't want to do. And granted, I don't have to, but what we're going to talk about? I don't want to go back and list the top 10 this, that. I just want to get on here and frankly talk about life. If I morph from this and then we turn Midnight Movie Talk into something different, I'll be honest with you, it's going to be more current events, and I'm going to go off on some of the things that are going on in the world because there's a lot of shit that goes on that I really want to talk about. It probably would get me banned on YouTube. I'm not conservative. I'm not liberal, but I am a realist. And when I see things that are happening that I know to be accurate and true, it's very hard not to discuss them. But of course, you can't because we got the government overlords telling us we got to say this, this, and this. Let me tell you something. I will never, ever bow to what someone tells me what to say. It'll never happen. 0% chance. John Campea, not overly, certainly not a talented film evaluator, but he yet has 1 billion subscribers. But like I said, guys, when I go to bed tonight, which will be soon because I go to bed early. Sorry, I know that. It's sad. It's pretty sad, but it's true. I don't go to bed and go, how many subscribers do I have? Did I lose 10? Did I gain 10? Do I have 50 views, 100 views? I don't care if I have 0 views. Honestly, God, I don't care if there's 0 people on the stream. I don't. I know. You guys are look, give me a lie detector test. I should literally hook myself up to a lie detector and put my finger in there, put the hand in there the entire time. And it'd be like no lies detected the entire time. Like, this guy's good. He doesn't ever lie. Tonight's kit, FC Tulsa from the USL. I'm going deep, baby. I like this one. This is Puma Ultra Weave. If you ever have a chance to get a Puma Ultra Weave jersey, do it. The fabric is, I can only describe it as almost like crepe paper, right? But just a little thicker. It's unbelievable. Aaliyah's really smart. I might have missed a whole bunch of things. Aaliyah's good. Aaliyah's really good. I can tell after seeing a bad movie and too many. Yeah, it is. It's draining. It's dispiriting. 100%. You just lose the effort to go on. Let's switch and go to something else, and then we're gonna get out of here tonight because I'll just wait till Sunday, and I'll have Scotty back on. I love Scott. I told you guys that. If I say I love something, it's because I love it. It's not because I'm saying it. You know that. And so Menzel's amazing. I can't wait to talk to him about what he saw in Toronto. We had a great show. If you didn't see the show the other night on Sunday, that was a great show. And I'm not saying that because I did it or he did it. It was a great show. Like, in the middle of it, I go, this is very good. This is really, really good stuff. And the key is that you are present, and the key is that you are fearless, and you just go. So when the moment comes, you just go, let's go. Boom, bam, bam, bam. That's what we do on the show. It's bam, bam. The show is very wildly erratic because the point is it's live, and I don't have it scripted out. I'm just going with what's in the moment as much as I can. And when you do that, you're going to get a show that's not going to be as smooth as a Campea, Gore, certainly someone who records shit like Chris Stuckman. They could never do a show like this. They'd self-destruct. It'd be over in like 30 seconds. They'd go, and the show be over. They can't do it. It's not easy. But I have, I guess you would call it a gift to just shoot. and to just not be afraid of whatever I'm going to say. I'm not going to say anything that's going to get me in trouble. You know what I mean? With, well, if I say something about COVID, let's talk about the Rotten Tomatoes thing, because this is fun. This is what I want to talk about. This was a very interesting article, to say the least. We knew all this, though, because the funny thing is we talked about this on the channel forever ago when we started this channel. I told you guys about Rotten Tomatoes. The problem with it is, because I have reviews on Rotten Tomatoes from when I was in Boston doing it, and I wrote all those 400 plus word reviews for literally 15 clicks. That's how many clicks you get out of Rotten Tomatoes. Everyone looks at the blurb. They don't even bother with the review. And that was like 10 years ago. I don't want to even bother with that shit. It's not worth it. I want to just get to the point and move on. Rotten Tomatoes, the problem is when you go to submit your review, they say, do you want to make this fresh or rotten? That's it. You have a little tab, fresh, rotten, flat, and that's it. Bang, bang. So let's say you were mixed on something and you say fresh. That counts the same as me and tar, 100%, right? So fresh at 72% is the same as 100. Rotten at, for me, rotten is anything below 70. 70 is like the cutoff line. So I know it's like crazy you guys go 70%. I'm old school grading. You guys understand. I was raised with 50F, 60D, 70C, 80B, 90A. So that's how my scale works. So I talk about how the higher you go, 9.3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you're way up the Richter scale. When you go down, if I'm at a 50, like did I give it a 50%? You see that 50% for Nun II? That's terrible. That's an F. You guys, that's F. That sounds like, oh, that's a C. No, it's an F for me. 50 is an F. If I give something like a 10 or a 0, it's unwatchable. Beau's Afraid's a 0. A 0. Let's continue about Rotten Tomatoes. So right off the bat, we have an all or nothing system, which is not ideal. The article, a lot of people are seizing on the fact that there's this small publicity company, Bunker 15, that had a project, Ophelia. Don't remember it. 2018, some film that was like some tiny thing. Daisy Ridley was in it, and they paid critics $50 for a review. And what do you think is going to happen if you get paid for a review? Do you think you're going to hammer it? No, of course not. You're going to say it's okay. You're going to probably give it at least a marginal recommended because you got paid $50. That's the problem with taking money from studios. Studios don't pay. I'm going to explain that to you in a second. But let's say I take money from Bunker 15 to write a review. Well, I'm instantly going to be biased because I am going to be like, they pay me $50, so I feel better about them. If one of you comes in here with a $50 super chat, which none of you do because you're lame, all of you, I don't care. It's all good, guys. Honestly, I don't care. I don't care. Super chat or no, just doesn't matter. So just so you know that I'm not here like begging for super chats. Then you're gonna be like, I'm gonna treat that person better, probably. Like you think about, right? Because it's like $50, whatever. Oh man, I don't know how much longer to go on. I'm freaking beat. I'm tired. I'm kind of done with this shit, but I'll keep going. Rotten Tomatoes, anyhow. So people are saying it's on Rotten Tomatoes to get these reviews out of there. Listen, all they do is make sure that the critic passes the initial test, and then they don't really go back in. They're going to have to go back in and look at some of these people. And certainly, Tarantino here saying that he no longer reads critics' work. I don't know anyone. First of all, Quentin, if you don't know me, you got a problem, bro. Yeah. I'll bet he does. First of all, he definitely knows who I am. I mean, let me tell you why Quentin Tarantino knows who I am. I talked to him at a bar, and he told me his top 3 movies. It turned out to be a huge article everywhere. His top 3 movies of the year that year were The Irishman. It was 2000. Was that 18? Dr. Sleep and Crawl, 2018. So he knows who I am. At least he'd be sort of familiar with who I am. But it doesn't matter. But the point is, he doesn't know who any critics are because it's all about Rotten Tomatoes now. It's true. There's not a lot of good critics. And let's just talk about this. Can we just leave it at this? There's not a lot of good critics. That's why I said Gore's a mediocre film evaluator. He is absolutely is. But he's also like almost everybody else. They're very mediocre. And I know, you're going to say, oh, well, there you go. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you guys. If you're good at something, you say it. I mean, I'm a good film evaluator because I'm objective, and I bring that cross pollination of cinephile with Columbus, Ohio kid. And that is unbeatable in the world of film because you have most people that are cinephiles or they are Columbus, Ohio. They are regular, just average moviegoers. When you cross those and you get a film that's able to get both of those in the Venn diagram, that's what we're looking for. Thank you, Chop. You're in my camp. I appreciate it. Listen, listen. I don't. He's not a good film evaluator. He's not. Gore's not good. I'm sorry. I'm not saying anything bad about him. He's not talented. He can't say that about me because he's told me multiple times. You know how many times he's told me my tweet reviews are perfect? They like capture the essence of every film. He's told me that multiple times. Ask him that. See what he says. He has to say he said yes because he did. I don't lie. I don't have time to lie. I'm not going to make shit up. He's not a great film evaluator. Just not. I mean, so most people aren't either. It just they're not. They're not that good. Thanks, kid. I know, dude. It's okay. It's what it is. It's what it is. All right, I'm gonna go like another 5. I'm gonna get out of here. IMDb, yeah, better. I agree. Andre, I went to depression after seeing American Ultra. Yeah. Oh my god. There's movies that just make you, like question whether you want to do this anymore. Scott's fun, but also you know what Scott is? He's a good soul. And I know you guys. Some of you are like, well, you're not. Why am I not? Because I'm opinionated. Because I take shirtless pictures. Because I didn't go to Gore's thing. That makes me a bad person. How? How? Thank you. I try. No, you know what it is? It's not just audacity. Achal. Sharma. I should say Sharma. Is it Achal? If I'm saying it wrong, please forgive me. We'll put it in phonetically. Is that it's not even audacity. It's just fearlessness. You just don't worry about what other people think of you. Like I laugh when people like try to drag me, quote unquote. I go, what? Like when Gore's thing showed up today. I go, thanks, buddy. Thanks for amplifying me. Thanks for showing a picture of me shirtless again to inspire people, hopefully. Like, why do I care? Like, when this stream's over, I'm going to go and get ready for bed, and that's the end of it. It is what it is. It is, get up tomorrow and go get it. That's what I do. So it's just not giving a shit about anybody and what which one, what did I not? Thank you. I am the real deal. I think so. Because the reality is, guys, the reality is this, is that this town's full of so many phonies. My God, I mean, everywhere you look, there's people that will say anything to get a job, get the role, to do whatever. And I won't. It'll never happen. Like, if I had a boss, like, you need to do something that's like underhanded, I'm like, nah, fuck this. I'm out of here. And that is rare in this town. And also attacking directors who make terrible films like Damien Chazelle and Ari Aster. The last films were abysmal films. That doesn't happen very often because the critics are afraid they're going to get blacklisted. I don't care if I do, because I'll just go see him at the AMC Burbank. Like, I'm not going to be beholden on the Hollywood system. Nun II. I sent an email to Warner Brothers this week, say, hey, are you going to screen that early? I'd like to see it. I just said, whatever, just get out of the way. They didn't even reply. Usually they do. Most studios reply. Warner Brothers is kind of weird like that. But either way, guess what I did? I go, I don't care. See you Thursday. Like, I'm not going to worry about this stuff. Like, if I don't get invited to the premiere of, like, last year was Babylon, I got to go, but then after that, they probably won't ever invite me again. So be it. Because they're afraid. They know that I'm going to go see a movie and destroy it if it's not good. They don't want that. They want somebody who's a shill. They want Erick Davis to be there and say, well, it's great. I'm like, God, it's the best thing ever on the big screen. Shill. What's your job, dude? Like, imagine you guys come after me. I have haters. Go after Erick Davis. That guy's like why do you bother? Why do you hate somebody who speaks their truth and is unvarnished and authentic and fearless, and you let people like Erick Davis and these other shills of the world just continue on? Go after them. Those are the people that are making the world worse, the people that are bought and paid for, the people that are compromised. I'm not compromised. I will never, ever, ever be compromised. It'll never happen. I am the dude. Remember the episode of The Simpsons with the comic book guy? And at the end, they go, if you write this review and you say it's good, then we are going to give you like $1 million, whatever the episode. It's been forever. What's he do? He looks at the review at the end and he goes, send, because he has values. He's not going to be compromised by money, not going to be compromised by power. I don't care. I'm going to tell you what the truth is. I'm the Simon from American Idol here in film. And eventually it's going to turn into other things because I'm getting bored with film because these films suck. They're terrible. Thank you. A stoic. I like it. Critics lost their integrity, and that's the reason people don't take it. They shouldn't. The one thing, that's the thing that, I love wrapping it up with Gore and wrapping up the show, is that he says, I'm trying to remain relevant. I can tell you this, my relevancy is assured. And you know why it's assured? Because I am not compromised. Because I do not care who I piss off when I give an evaluation. If it's bad or terrible or great or masterpiece, I am going to absolutely, without any hesitation, tell you what that is to me. I'm not going to worry about what the ramifications of it are and getting someone sad or mad or making someone feel bad. Not my issue. That's a you problem, and that'll never change here. As long as we do this show, I don't know how much longer we're going to do it because I'm getting bored with watching these movies. They all suck. Is that if that's what it is? And if we'll turn it into something else. But I'm telling you what, Truth Warrior, baby. There aren't many of them out there. So that's it. I'm done. And yes, Kid and Dave. It's